She cooked lunch. 3 people died. She said it was an accident. But the psychological story behind this case is far more disturbing than any headline. In 2023, Erin Patterson invited her former in-laws and 2 other relatives to her home in Australia for a family meal. She served beef Wellington. Later, 3 of the guests were dead. 1 was left in critical condition. The suspected cause? Death cap mushrooms. Some of the deadliest fungi on Earth. Erin claims she bought them from a local Asian market. She also claims she had no idea they were poisonous. But here's what makes this case so haunting. She didn't eat the meal herself. This isn't just a story about mushrooms, it's a story about human psychology, about denial, guilt, and the terrifying ability of the mind to believe it's innocent, even while doing harm. Carl Jung warned that the most dangerous people aren't those who look evil, but those who haven't confronted their own shadow. Erin, on the surface, doesn't look like a villain. No screaming, no clear motive, no blood. But that's exactly what makes the case psychologically fascinating. Because the moment someone says, "I didn't mean to," the mind begins rewriting reality to protect the ego. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance. When our actions don't match our self-perceived, we twist the story to reduce internal tension. Adler would say Erin was preserving her superiority image, the good, harmless person. To admit fault, even slightly, would shatter that identity. So the unconscious finds another way: denial, redirection. But the deeper fear isn't just guilt, it's meaninglessness. Viktor Frankl argued that what we fear most isn't death or pain, but the idea that our suffering has no meaning. So, when someone causes pain, especially unintentional, the psyche rushes to give it a story that protects its sense of purpose. Erin's survival of the meal while her guests died? That's not just coincidence. It's a psychological rupture, the kind that forces the brain into defense mode. This is what Hannah Arendt described as the banality of evil, the idea that horrific acts don't always come from monsters. Sometimes they come from ordinary people avoiding emotional responsibility. That's why this case is so powerful, not because it's rare, but because it's common. Millions of people hurt others every day without ever facing the truth, because facing it would mean admitting that you are capable of harm, even if you never wanted to be. So when Erin says she's innocent, maybe she believes it, but that doesn't make it true. The mind is a master of survival, and sometimes the story it tells you is the most dangerous thing of all. As of now, Erin Patterson hasn't been convicted. She maintains that she meant no harm, but 3 people are dead, 1 barely survived, and the question remains, was this a tragic accident? Or something much darker, buried beneath the surface of a seemingly ordinary life? Because in the end, the most frightening evil isn't always loud. Sometimes it walks in quietly, sets the table, and calls it family.